this good morning. Good morning, Mrs. Applebaum. Come on in. I'm on the phone with Con Ed. Oi, Con Ed. No. I just want to see my little girl. Little? She's 15. Yes. I'm still here. Okay.
There's a lot of preparation when you do solo pieces because not only do you have to prepare like a regular actor prepares, vocally and physically, but you also have to prepare emotionally. You are the only one on that stage, and in a way, the energy of the audience is directed towards you. So you have to be grounded enough to be able to accept that energy and reflect it back to them.
There's gonna be a hurricane today, Mrs. Applebaum. Do you have your D batteries? Hurricane, oi, I lived through the Depression. We had nothing barely but the shoes on our feet, and we did it without the help of double Ds. D batteries, Mrs. Applebaum.
What happens is that you're on stage and it's you and 100 people, 200 people. I know that those 200 hearts that are staring at that one heart of yours they just really want to see an open heart. Human beings, they can feel when you're just acting. And what happens is that you start to lose them. And when you start to lose them, that's pretty challenging because you need to like get them back.
Gandhi. Remember when you were 10 and had dance, karate, theater, student government, SAT classes? Who goes to SAT classes at 10?
Pike Street is a play about a family in the Lower East Side during a day when a hurricane is coming to New York City. Evelyn is Candace's mother. And about 4 years ago, when Evelyn was working for the MTA, Candace had a brain aneurysm, and she was rendered speechless and unable to move. And what we see in Pike Street is a mother who is trying her best to, with the kind of new age techniques, trying to heal her daughter emotionally and physically, while also healing her family.
No, we're not going to a shelter. Why? Well, we went to the one at Seward Park the last time it was the storm of the century, and all of the generators were old and tapped out. And by the third day, all of the hipsters wanted to charge their cell phones and laptops on the same outlet as my daughter's dialysis, and then we got to deal with all the kids screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, what's the matter with that girl? What's the matter with that girl?"
Having been from the Lower East Side, where in the 70s and the 80s, it was definitely not known for its chic folks as it is now, I always kind of felt in a way that I was living in an invisible community, invisible neighborhood. But one thing I loved about living in the Lower East Side was that the neighbors really looked out for one another. And so Pike Street is kind of an honoring of those neighbors, the community, who really not only look out for one another, but can rise when things like Hurricane Sandy happen and they're forgotten. The first thing I tell a director is I say, okay, there is the solo performer, actor Nilaja, and then there's the writer Nilaja. So if you have questions for the writer, if you could direct it to the writer and say, hey, writer Nilaja, I've got a question, a dramaturgical question. And if you have notes or questions for the actor, speak to me as an actor, because I don't, they're not together. Yes, there is only one body, but when I'm rehearsing, I'm trying not to edit, because that writing is not, I feel like that writing is not coming from a genuine place. It's coming from a place of, oh, I've got to change this.
Is she gone? Yes, Papi, she's gone. Oh my God, esa judía, Papi. Is it possible to not start every morning with racism? You think they see me and they say that's a man? No, They say that's a spick. Good morning. I don't want Gandhi to hear your negativity. Good morning to you. Negativity, psh.
If you have characters who are talking to one another, maybe a fun thing to do, and this is really just one technique, would be to kind of like snap into them instead of morphing into them. Like for instance, in No Child, I have a character named Jerome and he's, out. He's out a lot. And then I have a character named Chandrika and she's up in here. And so instead of kind of morphing from Jerome to Chandrika, maybe there was a kind of snapping from one, kind of like, from Jerome, Chandrika, Jerome.
I don't let it bother me. It's just she feels the feelings of others and it swallows her, so it's just less stress for everyone if we stay home. Besides, we can't bring her chair down 5 flights. Tell him the elevator's broke. The elevator's broke. Broken. Yes, I'll hold.
When I think of solo performance and I'm trying to teach a class, I say, have you ever just come home and told your parents about the wacky thing that happened in school? That's what solo performance is. Or if you think about being at a bar and telling a story to 5 of your friends at the bar and everyone's listening, that's all that solo performance is. Solo performance is nothing new. This has been happening since the dawn of man. And it'll continue to happen.